Looking back, I don't want to go back to the times. I don't want to go back to where I was at in life. Oh, I had good times and it was fun, but it ended. And those times, those reasons, they all ended for a reason. So, if there's a good reason to something ending, why would you want to go back? Because if it all ended for a good reason, then maybe it's just to leave the memories alone, leave the times alone. Because I recently had a person tell me that the guy who once blocked me decided he didn't hate me anymore. Um, I heard that through a friend's friend, I guess. But it just makes me think, yeah, there were some good times, good moments, but he just decided to randomly hate me. And it ended things for a good reason. So why would I want to go back? Why would I want to go back? Because if he just randomly decided to stop talking to me, no reason, then, well, not the right person to be around, not the right person to have in your life. If he just decides he randomly hates you, you know, and he'd do it again. And it's sad because you thought a lot about that because I really did. I put a lot of thought into all that when it happened. I really was sad that he decided to just randomly block me. But I mean, I don't know why I was sad because he just decided he randomly didn't want me in his life. And you know what? At a certain point, you just need to accept it because although there were good times, good moments, good memories that you want to go back to, you shouldn't because it's not a good place, not a good person to surround yourself with. And I realized that it took a lot of time actually to actually acknowledge and come to that agreement and understanding. And it's like once you've already accepted that those are not the people you want to be around, you they try to get back in contact with you. And something about that just doesn't feel right. Kind of just talking, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but kind of just doesn't feel right to put yourself back in that situation. Because I thought a lot about all that, regretting it, wondering why it happened, what I did, but I never did anything. He just decided to randomly make a decision that I was a bad person and did something, but I didn't. And, and you know what? He'd do the same thing again if I sent him a message. And as much as I want to know what I did or what happened, but I shouldn't. It's not right. It's not right for me to put myself back in that situation. And that's made me think a lot more about everything. Things come to an end a lot. And you know what? Sometimes you just need to let things stay at an end. Because going back into places that you aren't in for a reason now just is toxic and not good, because not good for yourself, not good for your emotions, not good for your feelings. And this took a long time to realize that and actually come to terms. But you know what? That I've thought about that in other places of my life. And there's so many places I want to be back in, old memories, old just and I don't miss the people. I don't miss the toxic places. Miss I just miss the memories, the good times. But I don't miss the people. And I just need to let that go. The memories happened. They were fun. They were definitely fun. But they're over. They're over. And I know I've said that multiple times now, but at a certain point, you gotta come to understanding that all things end for a reason, whether you like it or not. And they come to an end for a reason. Everything comes to an end for a reason. And I don't know, but that's a little hard to understand, to be okay with. Because I miss those times. I miss the good times, staying up late playing video games. But I have different people in my life now. And I don't want the people who were toxic who just randomly left me. It's happened a couple times, but if they chose not to be in my life for whatever reason, then they'd probably do that again. And I don't want to go through the feeling of wondering what I did again. And it'll happen more in my life, but but just because it'll happen more, it doesn't mean I want to put myself purposely into situations with people who I know have done it before. People who I know will do the same thing to me. And I don't, and it's being unfair to myself to put myself back in that situation, because those people are not good people, and they might not be terrible people, but they didn't do well enough for me. And maybe I just wasn't the type of person they wanted in their life. And that's okay, because you know what? I found better people now. And whether they leave me again in the future or not doesn't matter, because right now is what's important. Right now, the memories I make right now, those matter. And what happened doesn't matter anymore. And that's perfect because they still hold some value, but that value is sentimental. That value doesn't matter as much anymore. And I can remember the good times without putting myself in toxic situations again. And I can just leave it at what it is. And what it is left alone. Left perfect as memories, left perfect as good times. And that's just how it should be. I shouldn't put myself in the places I was just because I miss something about my life. I miss playing games with random people because they're gone. And I think I'm probably happier that way. And that's good because you should always be happier with life. And I mean, I guess this can hold some aspect in everybody's lives. Just if something ends for a reason, if something is over for a reason, then think about the times with good memories and happy thoughts, but don't chase them again. Don't chase that feeling. Don't chase what you want out of that part of your life anymore because it's gone. And just trying to put yourself back in there, that place is not, it's not what you really want. And you may want it now, but make new memories, meet new people, have the new experiences that will feel like old times. That'll feel like you're just having fun playing games with friends. But don't go back to the old people who hurt you. Find new people, make new memories.